Hello everybody, welcome back again. We are continuing with our lesson 18, which is still dealing with contracted articles, remember, and partitive. And I wanted to explain to you something before we continue. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and tell a friend to subscribe if they are interested to learn French, especially the professionals, because as we go along, we are going to be more inclined to teaching French for specific purposes. That is French for business, French for tourism, French for catering, so on and so forth, even French for design. But like I said, before I continue, there's something I want to tell you, and it is very important because I am sure that some of you have already been asking yourself these questions. What is the difference between the definite article DES and the partitive article DES? And remember, we also have the contracted plural definite article DES. You will see it in my table. You will see it in that table. I try to make the difference because at the end of the day, most English speakers will be asking themselves questions. Why do we have all this complication? Well, in French, you cannot go around it. In French, it is really, really important to understand the different elements that compose the French language, because if you do not try to grasp these elements, then you probably might find it very difficult to learn French, unless somebody who lives, even Kenyans, for example, I'm saying, even English speakers who live in France, some of them, they've been here for many years and they still have difficulties to grasp the way the French grammar functions. But me, I am going to try to simplify it for you so that you'll understand. So, well, some grammarians say that there is no plural partitive articles. Others affirm, on the contrary, that the DES is considered partitive only with non-countable nouns or nouns that have no singular. For me, what I have done is I have tried to put sentences as examples so that you can try to identify the difference between DES, which is the plural of one, that is one, that is un in French, or une, or whether it is, it is indefinite article, the plural of indefinite article, or whether it is partitive, or whether it is a contracted plural definite article. So that's why I have put for you in the table there examples, and I'm going to try and explain why and those examples. So it is important for you to try and follow these lessons so that you can identify the differences of these elements that may help you to speak the French language. As for me, what I will try to tell you is that whenever you're going to be using that DES, first and foremost, DES, like I told you before, DES is the plural of an indefinite article. That's what we said, an indefinite article. Indefinite article. What is an indefinite article? An indefinite article is like un in French or une. That is when you say, for example, a shirt, or if you want to say a chair. In French, you know, there's always the gender rule. So for example, if you say a shirt in French, it is une chemise. Une. You have to say une because the chemise is feminine. Une chaise is a chair. You have to say une chaise because chair also is feminine. And remember what I told you, most words that end with E are feminine in French. So une chaise is feminine. But if you say un stylo, that that is a biro. A biro. So a stylo is masculine. Now, if you want to say many biros, you say de stylo, D-E-S. So that is plural, de stylo. So remember very well that an indefinite article, the plural is D-E-S. And why do you say indefinite article? And I have told you that an indefinite article is just like the word it means. Indefinite, undefined. It is not defined. Compared to the definite article, which is the le, it is definite, something that has been defined. Undefinite is undefined. For example, if I say une chemise, a shirt, it is just any shirt. It is not defined. It is just any shirt. It is just any shirt. But if I say la chemise, I'll have to say la chemise because it is feminine also. La chemise, it means it is defined. So when it is defined, you have to say la chemise de Jean. For example, the shirt of John. De Jean. Tu vois? La chemise de Jean. So it is determined, but an undetermined object. That's why we say an indefinite. It is not defined. So why is it that we have to get that difference? Because if you look at the partitive des and the indefinite, that is the plural of one, des, and you have also the contracted plural definite article, that is des also, but in this case it is contracted. So mark the difference. There's the des, which is the plural of indefinite article, that is the plural of one. Plural of one is after is two and then many. And it is the des also is partitive. Partitive also, remember what I told you, partitive, even the word partitive means part of. And then we have the contracted plural definite. So in the table there, you will see the examples that I have stated for you. So I wanted you to really, really look into this des. As far as I'm concerned, what I'll try to tell you so that you can simplify and understand the des, that is the des indefinite article, plural of the of one on two, that is des, compared to the partitive, is that for the partitive, if you can try and use it to things that you cannot quantify, you cannot quantify, you not count one, two, three, that is the partitives you use for things that you don't quantify, or the things even that appear in plural, even in English. For example, holidays. Holidays, they always appear in plural. Or even socks. Socks, they're always in plurals. Or even sandals, things like sandals, things that always appear in plurals. You try to use des. And then the things that can be counted, counted, try and maybe look at them as indefinite, because in the table I've given examples, and then you will see, and I will try to explain even the contracted plural definite article, the des, because there you see there are three types of des. But what I'm trying to emphasize in the fact that des, you have to practice how to use it. So most of it is going to come out of practice. So without much further ado, I am going to get to the examples which are in the table, and I'm going to go according to the rows, and I'm going to start with the row where there's the contracted singular definite article du, that is du. And if you remember, contracted singular definite article, that one is, as I said, It's, you know what it is. It's the mixture of preposition de and the article le, because it is contracted singular definite article, and in there it is, when you see du, you know it is the le, and le is always masculine. So remember, even if I'm not written the title, I mean in the table there, I have not written contracted singular definite article. I should have written contracted singular definite article masculine. It is masculine. It is preposition de and article le. So you see the example. Les Français boivent du vin. Repeat after me. Les Français boivent du vin. The French, that is the French people, drink wine. So les Français boivent du vin. You see, it is a contracted singular definite article, of course, masculine. It is as if there was a preposition de which could be of, and then le. So if you are to translate directly, it would be like les Français, the French drink of the wine, something of that sort. But since here we're talking of a contracted article, that's how you say the French drink wine, because in English you don't have all those complications. Understand, this is French. This is the French language. What you should understand is this: you have to put these things before a noun. If you're talking, you're saying something before. That's what you have to understand. You have to know that you have to put that du. For example, the second sentence, on trouve du charbon. You have to say on trouve du charbon. So repeat after me, on trouve du charbon. So you have to understand that. You have to say on trouve du charbon. You see, in English is we find wood. In English you don't find anything before wood. You just say we find wood. We find wood. So on trouve du charbon. So you should know that you have to put that because of the noun, that charbon. The noun is masculine. Then you have to put those charbon. The next sentence. Remets du bois. So that is the verb to put again. That is put again something. In French, whenever you put RE in front even of a verb, for example, reprendre, remettre, retravailler, always when you put that re, it means to repeat. It's repeat. Re is to repeat. So remet is to put again, because it's from the verb mettre. Mettre is to put. And also, I didn't explain to you the second sentence after les Français boivent du vin. On trouve. Trouver is the verb to find. Remettre is to put again, because the verb mettre is to put, but if you add the re, is to put again. So remettre du bois is to put again some wood. So for example, you are having a bonfire, the fire is dying, so you tell the guy to put wood again. So you say remets du bois, remets du bois. So repeat after me, remets du bois. So put again du bois. So you see that is also, the du there is contracted. And then let's get to the last sentence, the fourth one. And you'll see l'entrée du tunnel. So repeat after me, l'entrée du tunnel. L'entrée du tunnel. The tunnel's entrance. The tunnel's entrance. So you see, all of that is contracted definite article. So let's go to the second row, which is partitive articles. So you've already seen that I told you the partitive articles. There's du, so du, then there was de la, and then there's de, and then l apostrophe, and des is also a partitive. And I have talked to you first, before I continued with the lesson, about the partitives, so that especially the des, so that you can know that the next two rows we are going to be still dealing with des, and we are starting with the partitive. So partitive here well, like I said, it's like you're taking part of something. So, for example, the first sentence there, il mange du pain. Il mange du pain. So when you're eating, in English, you say they are eating bread. Yeah. You don't put anything, in English is easy compared to French. They are eating bread. But you see, in French, you have to say il mange du pain. You cannot say il mange pain. Like we are in English, say they are eating bread. You cannot say il mange pain. In French, you have to put that article before the bread because it is masculine. Then you have to put that preposition also, simply because that's how it is in French. And then the two of them, they make du. And that's how you'll have to say il mange du pain. There's no other way you can say it in French. Il mange du pain. Second example, je veux de l'ananas. I want pineapples. That's how you will say it in French. There's no other way. You see, in English, you just say, I want pineapples. I want pineapples. There's no other way you're saying it. I want pineapples. Je veux de l'ananas. Je veux de l'ananas. Repeat after me. Je veux de l'ananas. There's no other way you're going to say it in French. You can't say je veux ananas. You can't say. You have to say je veux de l'ananas. In English, it is simple. I want pineapples. So you see why it is important to master this way of saying. French is totally different. This is a different dimension. It is a different language, and you have to think in French. You don't think in English. Don't try to simplify French as if it was English. No, it's another language, another way of thinking, and you have to learn it like that way. You have to make that effort. You have to fight and make that effort. If you're an English speaker, maybe you're going to try and say, why don't they just say, je veux ananas? No, it's not like that in French. You have to say je veux de l'ananas. You have to add those things, put it in your mind. Okay, let's go to the third sentence in that row, in the second row. Il faut de la patience. Now you see the partitive article. Now we can say here. You see now that those are part of things that you cannot quantify. You cannot count. You cannot count patience. You see, you cannot count patience. So if you want to say we need patience, in French you say il faut de la patience, for example. Il faut. That's how we always say it is necessary, we need, or whatever. It is necessary, patience is necessary, and so on and so forth. In French, whenever you say il faut, this verb, it comes from the verb falloir. It is always conjugated with that il. It is never conjugated with the other persons. It's always conjugated like that with that il, that il. Il faut de la patience. You can never say je faut de la patience. You say the verb itself, that falloir, if it is alone. Unless it is pronominal, say falloir. Probably you can conjugate it. But it is always conjugated with one person. You will see maybe this conjugation as time goes by. Verbs that are just conjugated in order to make one expression that it cannot be conjugated with all the other persons. So you see the il faut de la patience. That's how you say we need patience. You see in French you'll have to say il faut de la patience. Then let's come to the last sentence in that row, the second row. Je prends. Prends comes from the verb prendre, is to take. I take. So je, you remember, je is, you know the je already. I'm not going to say it. If you don't know it, just say it in the comment section. I don't know, and I'll take you back to the lesson that we have already done with this personal pronouns. Je prends. So I take holidays. So here you see I'm taking holidays. You can say I take holidays or I'm taking holidays. You remember what I told you? Conjugating in the first person present, it can mean I take or I'm taking. You have the present perfect, not the present perfect, the simple present, and then the present continuous. It's in the same thing. It's in the je prends, consists of the two. Je prends des vacances means I'm taking holidays or I take holidays. So here you see that is still partitive. So partitive, it holidays always come in plurals. You never say I. You don't say I. You don't never say, even in English you say I'm on holidays. You don't say I'm on holiday. You say I'm on holidays. So in French it's the same thing. French, the word holiday, vacances, always is in plural. So like I said, words that always are in plural in French, consider them to be used to be used by the partitive to be used. Okay, now let's look at the DES, because now we looked at the partitive on general and then plus the DES. Now we are going to deal with the last two rows. We're just going to deal with DES. We're going to differentiate the DES indefinite article, that is if it is the plural of un or une, that is un, which is one. And then we are going to look at it if it is a contracted plural definite, you see, article. So for example, the first sentence, elle achète des sandales. Repeat after me, elle achète des sandales. She's buying sandals. So indefinite article. So here, you see sandals, you can count sandals. So me, what I would say is like what we are talking about, what I said about here, when the things which, for example, when you are talking about patience, you cannot count it. But here, sandals, you can count sandals. So she's buying sandals. It's like it can be 1, 2, 3, 4 sandals. You get? So you can make the plural of 1 and 2. You understand what I'm trying to say? I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. When it is partitive, it's, when you're dealing with something you cannot count. That is with the DES. When it is just one, there's no problem. There's no problem. But now it is when it is plural, that is the DES. So here, because sandals we consider you can count them, then we are going to put them in the category of the indefinite article, which is the plural of one. You see, un or une. So nous recevons des nouvelles de notre fille. We are receiving news from our daughter. So same, repeat after me. Nous recevons des nouvelles de notre fille. We are receiving news of our daughter. So here, so from our daughter, nous recevons des nouvelles de notre. So here also, me, I would. Nous recevons des nouvelles de notre fille. So we're receiving news. So me, I could say, because you can receive one news, you can count news, you can count one news, second news, and so on. So I can consider also is an indefinite article. And then the next sentence, nous passons des examens. Nous passons des examens. The same, I can consider it is plural of 1, 2, and then becomes many. Because you can have 1 exam, 2 exams, 3 exams. You can count exams. That is as far as counting is concerned. As far as if you consider 1 exam, we have exam or maths exam. So you can have 5, 6 exams. You can have the numbers. And then I hope you have repeated after me. Nous passons des examens. Then the fourth sentence, excuse me, the fourth sentence there is vous faites des erreurs. You are making mistakes. So mistakes you can make 1. Vous avez fait une erreur. I can tell you, vous avez fait une erreur. You have made one mistake. But vous faites des erreurs, you're making mistakes. So mistakes you can make many. You can make one mistake, two mistakes, three mistakes. So I still consider it can be a plural because, and that's why I'm trying to tell you that if you get to the thing, the countable things, you probably would be inclined to use the indefinite article by indefinite article, which is the plural of one. You get if the things that you can count in opposition of things you can count, compared to things in even in French. In French, things that are considered they are just plural, you will be using, they're automatically plural. You'll be using the partitive. You'll be using a partitive, but things that can be counted 1, 2, 3, because they are in French, they also words are just plural. They are plural in nature. So okay, let's finish the last row. Contracted plural definite article. So contracted plural definite article, like I said, this is DES. Okay, this time we'll consider it as if it is the mixture of DE plus LES, that is the preposition de plus the article défini pluriel LES, which can be for masculine or feminine. And then the first sentence, nous, I think I hope you remember I had talked about the West Indies in the last lesson, just the lesson that I just did, last lesson. So I think in that lesson we were saying we are going to the West Indies, but here I want to tell you that if you are coming from the West Indies, so nous venons des Antilles. Repeat after me, nous venons des Antilles. So we are coming from the West Indies. That's people if you're asking somebody, where do you come from, they tell you nous venons, we are coming from the West Indies. They say nous venons des Antilles. Repeat after me, nous venons des Antilles. We are coming from the West Indies. Then you see, it is like you have said we are coming from there. It's like you put from. The DE here is from, and LES is the article, because you always have to put an article before a country. I've told you that. But since there's Antilles, I told you there's a number of islands, it is always considered to be in plural form. So that's why you put LES, because always in a country, before a country, you have to put the article. So even if the country is feminine, you have to put the article in feminine form. For example, Tanzania, you'll have to say La Tanzanie. Kenya, you have to say Lo Kenya. You see, in English, we don't have any article in front of language in countries. You always say Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, United States, Rwanda, Burundi, Somalia, Ethiopia. You see, but in French, you have to always put the you can never say Kenya, France, Burundi, Rwanda. No, you always have to put the article, and the article has to, if you put the article, it has to agree with the gender of the country. For example, Kenya is Lo Kenya, Tanzania is La Tanzanie, France is La France, Rwanda is Lo Rwanda, Somalia is La Somalie, so on and so forth. And if the countries are plural, for example, like America, it says les États-Unis. For example, here, les Antilles. You have to put the plural. So that's why now when you have to say from, from, you have to mix the from and the LES. That's why you say nous venons des Antilles. Now here you see contracted plural definite article becomes they. So you see you have to differentiate it from the DES of indefinite article, which is the plural of one, and then the DES, which is when you are when it is partitive, when it is part of something. So you have to differentiate that, and I know it's not very easy for people to get it, but I'm trying to make you understand how you're going to use. But the most important thing for you to do is to practice, so that you will see the differences, how you can use this thing differently. So nous venons des Antilles. We are coming from the West Indies. So it's like you're saying from the West Indies. So it's like the preposition there, DE is from, and then the LES is the West Indies, because it is in plural. Second sentence is nous parlons des examens d'hier. So here, repeat after me. Nous parlons. We are talking. Nous parlons des examens. You have to join DES and examen. You remember the rule. Huh? There's no, that is a mandatory joining. You have to join. You have to say nous parlons des examens d'hier. So it means we are talking of yesterday's exams. So here, nous parlons des examens d'hier. This is because, why do we say always a definite article? A definite article has to define something that is known, that we are defining. Because we are speaking of a specific exam. We are speaking of the exam of yesterday. So it is a defined. That's why it is like you're saying we are speaking of the yesterday's exam. You see? So it is defined. But you see, in English, you never say we are talking of yesterday's exam. You have to say we are talking of yesterday's exam. But it's a fit you are talking of the yesterday exam, you see, but you don't speak like that in English. So I hope you understand. Now let's go to the third sentence in the last row. Je me souviens. So this is another way of, in French, you see, we have what you call a reflexive verb. A reflexive verb is, for example, there you see a je and me. Je and me. Je is a first person, of course, singular. That is pronoun, first person, subject, pronoun, personal pronoun, first person. And then me is also a pronoun which actually reflects to je, which is je. So there's some verbs there. We will see this in this one you have not seen there. We'll see them in the future, what you call pronominal verbs or reflexive verb, where this things is like a mirror, it reflects to yourself. So that's why you have to say je me souviens. It means to remember. So je me souviens des vacances en Espagne. Repeat after me. Je me souviens je me souviens des vacances en Espagne. So it means simply means I remember the holidays in Spain. So here again, you see here, je me souviens, I remember des vacances. So I'm remembering of the holidays. So it is specific. That's why it is the article, it's definite article. So of and de, that is, it is de and les. I remember of the holidays in France. So in French you don't say I remember of the holidays. You say I remember the holidays in Spain. But you see, in French you have to put that des. But you see, that's an es which is contracted. Then the last but not least, because we have other many examples which you will do with practicing. Vous venez des États-Unis d'Amérique. You are coming from USA. So somebody, you ask him, where do you come from? You'll say, he tells you, I'm coming from USA. So you tell, oh, you're coming from USA. So you say, vous venez des États-Unis d'Amérique. Vous venez. Remember the verb venir? It was in the last lesson, the one that I just did before this one. And venir is the verb venir. So vous venez is to come from. Vous venez, and then see des états. You have to join des and then that état, state, and then even s you have to join with uni. So that's why you have to pronounce vous venez des États-Unis d'Amérique. Repeat after me. Vous venez des États-Unis d'Amérique. Everything you have to join. Vous venez. So vous venez, and then from des États-Unis, des États-Unis, des États-Unis. Look at the liaison. Look at them there. Des États-Unis d'Amérique. You are coming from USA. So you see, it's like you're saying you are coming from the United States. You understand? So that is why you will see the contracted plural definite article. It's a mixture of a preposition, that is de, and the article défini les, which is plural. So I hope you have clearly listened to this lesson and you have understood something. I urge you to subscribe for those who have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and for the professionals, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because this course is meant for you, for those who want to become designers, for those who want to work in the catering industry, for those who want to work in the tourism industry, in the hotel industry, also for French for business, for those in the business, French for technology, and French for medicine. You subscribe, and we are going to specifically prepare classes for those who would like to pursue their careers while using the French language. So until next time, have a good lesson and thank you.